And welcome to the Fantasy Threesome Podcast. Yes, hello. And a bit like the Sugar Babes, the lineup once again rotates this week. Next week, we will see the return of both Phil and Ant. This week, though, paving the way for the Holy Trinity in a way perhaps only John the Baptist has done previously. We have James, a Wimbledon supporter, but also takes a keen interest in Bournemouth. James, how are you?
Very well indeed, thank you.
Good. And Sean, a Manchester United fan, first and foremost.
Thanks, Mike. Do I apologise for that? Or
No. Yeah, I mean, it was, let's go straight in with that. So 3 new strikers, but outgunned by the Arsenal.
Yeah. I mean, the baseline's pretty low for United, but we looked good. I thought we looked good. I was sat in a bar with a lot of Arsenal fans, which I don't usually like to do. I usually like to watch United in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
But I was out in public and surrounded by a lot of Arsenal fans at Holiday Park. And yeah, I felt like it could have been a very bad afternoon. And we lost 1-0, but we were the better team.
I think you were. And there are assets there we will be I'll be keen to get your take on as the show goes on. You boys have both wildcarded this week, and you join me in that. What a tactic! I, off the back of a bench boost week 1, so it's quite the exciting time when it comes to all of our dream teams, and we will go through each of our sides a little bit later in the pod, maybe critique them. But first, I want to look back at the weekend that was, and we started with the very first game week where DEFCON points came into play, defensive contributions. People did bonus points. There were quite a number. Let me rattle through just a few of them. We'll start on Friday night. And Van Dijk was first out of the trap with 12 defensive contributions, which gets him the 2 bonus points. In addition to him, Tavernier was next from Bournemouth. You got Weaver at Brighton. Tyler Adams at Bournemouth as well. Tarkowski, who was big on it last season in terms of defensive contributions, he was involved once again for Everton against Leeds. Aït-Nouri, perhaps surprisingly, maybe known for bombing on, but actually this weekend got bonus points for defensive contributions. And once again, for Crystal Palace, it was encore. Marcus Senesi, another Bournemouth player with interception points. Andre at Wolves, Saliba and Odegaard at Arsenal. This man of yours? No, it wasn't. It was Andre Onana at Aston Villa. Van den Berg at Brentford. Stack at Leeds. Ballard of Sunderland to go with his goal as well. This man at Crystal Palace.
Get out of my pub! Get out!
Yeah. Yes, Mitchell. Aina at Forest. Caicedo at Chelsea. Cullen at Burnley. Yoro at United. Zubamendi at Arsenal. Cash at Aston Villa. Share at Newcastle, and also from Newcastle, Dan Burn. So a whole heap of bonus points handed out. Anybody you've got your eye on amongst those lads that you think, you know what, I need them in my team as a result of that?
I mean,
well, I have Zubamendi and Saliba in my team.
Zubamendi's an interesting pick. How much is Zubamendi costing you?
Not a great deal, just £5.5 million.
Okay, fair enough.
He's
Sean,
Basque, which is code for good, isn't it?
Basque is code for good. Certainly when it comes to managers, you've got Pep, you've got Mikel, and you've got Andoni, all from the Basque region, managing in the Premier League this season.
It's mad, that stat, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah, I
the
think
amount of talent in that one region.
Yeah. It's a bit like Alderholt on the south coast of England.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got Zubamendi and you've got Saliba. Sean, any of those on yours?
You rattled the names off too quick, and I wasn't concentrating. But I'll tell you,
you were lost in music.
I know. I was really enjoying the snippets. I'll tell you the player who I don't actually have in my team, but will be, I think, the standout star from a defensive perspective is going to be Lenny Yoro this season.
Is that right?
Yeah, United went big on a transfer with him last summer. Had a season to kind of embed. he'll be an absolute guaranteed starter for United every single week, subject to fitness. And he'll be at Real Madrid in 4 years.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I think he's going to be incredible. And on the basis that Man United do not have any level of defensive midfielder that can keep up with the pace of the Premier League, he'll be incredibly busy, and he will be getting those bonus points week in, week out.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout.
I mean, he might cost a little bit because I think these guys aren't stupid, but yeah, I think it would be a wise pick.
Well, he did pick up the bonus points this weekend, so yeah. And I don't think for United, looking back at last season, I don't think defensively you had any real issues, did you? It was going forward and scoring goals. It's something like 42 goals you managed to score last season in the Prem.
Yeah, no, it definitely, and that's where they spent the money, right? That's where the 3 strikers came from. Yeah, defensively, it's not too bad, albeit the goalkeeping situation is horrendous, as shown on Sunday. So that may obviously put people off putting a Manchester United defender into their team on the basis that you could lose your points that way. But yeah,
I can tell you what puts me off having a Manchester United player in my team. It's definitely the fact that they play for Manchester United.
Oh wow,
harsh, but I mean, for those of us that grew up in the 90s, there is a resentment for sure.
Well, we ruined childhoods, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay, so points picked up for Euro. Beg your pardon? Did with a capital D? No. Are you okay there, James?
Sorry, something froze then. I lost you all.
Oh, don't worry. We all had fun. Okay, let's take a look at this game week. What we're going to do is just going to break down the fixtures that are coming our way, and maybe some. Actually, you know what, lads, I'm all over the place tonight. But let's look at your teams because I want to pick them apart. Mine we could do last. I'll let you get your revenge. But Boff, could we maybe start with yourself and your side?
Yeah. Do you want me to run
and first and foremost, can you just tell us what formation you're likely to be playing most weeks, and if you've got subs that you're expecting to rotate in, or whether they're just bench fodder?
So 3-5-2 is my format.
Yeah.
My bench is 50% fodder, 50%. I'd plausibly put them in my team if I needed to.
Balanced. Okay, hit us with your team for this game week then.
Sanchez in goal.
Okay. Roger.
Chelsea are playing West Ham. I think West Ham are going to be in the bottom 3 this year.
It's a bold statement, but they were made to look very poor, or maybe they just were poor.
I think they're poor. I've gone for quite a hipster back 3. Maxine de Kuiper from Brighton.
It's very hipster, yeah,
very hipster. He'll be 100 million transfer to Chelsea within 18 months. I think. Yeah. Murillo from Nottingham Forest. Couldn't decide between him and Milinkovic, but as I understand it, Murillo is going to be more of a DEFCON.
You also saved yourself $500,000 by going Murillo, so
important.
Yep.
And then Saliba, because it feels important to have one Arsenal player.
Why Saliba of those Arsenal defenders? I mean, I have to start by saying I was disappointed not to see Lewis Skelly starting, because I thought potentially as an asset, he both bombing on and defending could get you some decent points this season. But they went with Calafiori, which was an interesting pick. I'm not sure how that plays out, so one to keep an eye on really. But you nailed on 2, Gabriel and Saliba. So why Saliba over Gabriel?
Because I was under pressure and short of time, and really just went with instinct, if I'm honest with you.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, no, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so that's your defence. Into midfield then.
Saka and Zubimendi.
Doubling up on the Arsenal. Okay.
I am. It's a bit boring, predictable, but Salah, though I'm worried if this might be the year that he proves to be a poor pick. And then I'm going to call him Reindeers just because
he was very, very shiny, and he knows where the goal is.
He certainly does. He was excellent for AC Milan last year. I'm more of a Calcio than a Premier League aficionado myself.
Yeah.
And David Brooks, because who doesn't love David Brooks?
Okay. Well, I mean, I certainly love David Brooks, and he put in a decent performance against Liverpool. 2 new inbound wingers that will challenge him for a starting spot. But
they were both more expensive though, and I wanted a Bournemouth player.
Love that. Okay.
So budgetary restrictions, and then Haaland and Delap up front.
Okay, so Delap's an interesting one because didn't start at the weekend. I know, looking at a lot of templates going into the season, there was a mix of Delap and Pedro in there. Pedro got the nod at the weekend. Is that not unnerving?
I expect it's a gamble picking any Chelsea player in a team and being confident that they're going to start apart from Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
But again, choices didn't feel particularly plentiful, so it was really just looking at. I'd made the decision that I wanted Salah, Saka, and Haaland. Something that I feel absolutely confident that Phil, who is very much the Keisha Buchanan of the Sugar Babes.
Great reference. Yeah.
I can see myself as the Heidi Range.
Of course.
I'm fairly sure that Phil would condemn my choices, or at the very least the predictability of my choices. But I'm nothing if not making obvious choices.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I would say, James, as well, as a Wimbledon fan, that you've got you can just pick Salah without having any hate, right? And you can pick all these top 6 players, Saka, Superman.
I've got no conflict.
No. Whereas I refuse to pick any of those type of players.
I understand that.
I mean, Brooks will certainly start this weekend. Circling back on that, who's on your bench?
So Dubravka is my backup goalkeeper.
Yeah. Popular pick at 4 mil seems to make sense.
Yeah. Never going to use him.
Okay.
Konsa on there. Wow. He's injured at the moment, but again,
he's not injured. Let me tell you.
Oh, really?
He pulled back Anthony Gordon when through on goal, and there were consequences. A red card came his way.
Yeah, well, he's out for a time, but 4.5 million. I thought I'll put him in there for when he comes back. The Cockney Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah. yeah. No, I like it. I mean, it's giving a little bit of this. But yeah, like it. Yeah, okay, Mickey van der Ven.
And then I was left really with filtering strikers by cost.
Yes.
And picking a player that I'd never heard of. And if you're going to pick a player you've never heard of, I might as well pick a Bournemouth player. So
Creepy Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eli to his friends.
Yeah, well, he came off the bench. He had a good season at Lorient last year, and he's well thought of. And at the moment, he is the only alternative striker to Evan Nilsson, so he will get minutes. Okay, thank you for that, James. Let's push across to Sean then.
Before we do, Mike, what's your team name, James?
Oh yeah,
crucial. KFC. It always has been. It was original and funny about 15 years ago. It isn't anymore, but I don't have to think about it.
No, fair enough. Okay, KFC it is. Well, let's start with your team name then, Sean. We should go in there early doors.
Yeah, Kuna Matata.
I've done that. I've got one better. Kuna Mateta is what I've done.
I like it. You've done the double.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
Is that your team name? Seriously?
It really is.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
Okay, so
original.
Never mind. Your team then again.
Yeah.
What have you done in terms of bench?
Instantly on the bench. Okay, so
I'm intrigued to know what sort of depth you've got.
Yeah, so I have 2 principles when picking the FPL team. One is I try and avoid as much as possible to pick rival players, because there is nothing worse than trying to find out if Salah's gone and scored a 90th minute goal away to Brentford on a Saturday afternoon. The other one is that I don't try and put fodder on the bench. That everyone, there's like a nice blend of consistency right across the piece.
So everyone's got a chance of minutes. That's what you're saying, is
exactly.
it?
Yeah. Okay. There's insurance policies all over the place.
Okay, all right.
So do you want to start with the bench?
Yeah. Let's say the bench first.
Okay, so the bench is Leno in goal.
Yeah.
Murillo. I have got Delap, but I'm going to get rid of him. the Delap choice was probably how he's feeling now, which is probably was going to be the number one, and then they gone and signed Pedro and Cash for Villa, who seems to be that guy that can get a bit of an assist and a cheeky free kick every now and again for Villa.
Yeah, I had a sound clip for him as well.
Did
Money
you?
Talks, but I cannot
Talk.
find it anywhere.
No,
okay, moving into the mids.
So midfield, layered with goals. Okay. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Albeit, that's one to keep an eye on because, as you would have seen on the weekend, he's playing in that double pivot.
He's in your centre half, isn't he?
Yeah. He's the quarterback, which was a bit alarming as a United fan because he's the only one who can create. But anyway, we'll monitor that because it could be a cheeky little transfer in because he's a 9 mil. And Mbumo, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I've heard it.
Yeah, they drink it in the Congo. Yeah.
He's going to be a guaranteed starter, number 10. And I hopefully just brings that Brentford form into United.
Is that where you see him playing in the 10?
Yeah. I think the idea is that it will be Kuna, Mbumo, and then Sesko as that front three. Ahmad will be out right wing back, I think. And then, I think Bruno will be paired up with someone who can't run either, which would be either Casemiro or Ugarte. Yeah, so Mbumo. So those are my two United staple diet midfielders.
Why Mbumo over Cunha? Because of the two, he looked the more explosive.
He did. It might be that actually Bruno goes and gets swapped out with Cunha. Is Cunha being classified? I mean, Cuna's being classified as a midfielder.
Midfielder,
right?
Same price. I'll bear with.
It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. I mean, he's the same price as Mbumo, so it's a straight choice between the two.
Yeah. So that's one to just keep an eye on. The next individual who was incredibly unlucky not to have scored on the weekend and will be either a Spurs or an Arsenal player within a fortnight is Eze.
Yeah.
And at 7.5 million, I think that's a good little signing.
Yeah, unlucky. I mean, we learned the IFAB law 13A this weekend with regards to being a meter from the goal.
Yeah, because I think originally everyone thought it was because of the push.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. Yeah. So just making up rules now, aren't they? Then everyone's favorite ugly housewife, Anthony Gordon.
Yes. I mean, it's getting more and more extravagant every season that passes. The look.
I'm assuming he's going to do something with his hair at some point. It's just that terrible phase that you go through to end up creating something so beautiful. I don't know where he's going with it, but it's pretty awful. It's like we're in the 3rd or 4th season of seeing his haircut like that. But
it's the caterpillar. A beautiful butterfly will no doubt at some point emerge.
Yeah. Come on, do some cornrows with it or something.
So Anthony Gordon. Okay, so again, looking at the game, of course, he was played down the middle, and you would imagine that a number 9 will come in. Alanga impressed me in that game. Real burst of pace, carried on where he left off for Forest last season. We talked in last week's show about you've got Alanga, you've got Barnes, you've got Gordon. Only 2 of those are likely to start moving forward if they do bring a striker in. But Gordon, for you, is that a tried and tested with Gordon, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's consistent. I mean, I think it's also, but I'm just looking at the stats here. 1.9% selected. Gordon, that is incredibly low. So
that's what we like to call in this game a differential.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one to watch because to your point, I'm assuming Newcastle's going to be coming in to the market and buying that striker. Right.
Well, I think that only goes in his favour, to be honest. I think, he can be really explosive on that wing, and his assist rate is really decent. Goal involvement per game is really high. So I think, it only aids him if somebody comes in.
Yeah. So it's just one that we'll flirt with. And then, Semenyo is the... he was unbelievable. What an awful thing that happened on Friday night, and for him to react like that, I mean, utterly amazing. And both goals were incredible, by the way. I mean,
and looked the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. Sure, Ekitike managed to fumble one through, but yeah, I thought he was the best, and for sure there's some Bournemouth bias there, but looked a class apart, and I mean that's the best signing we've made this summer is tying him down on a longer term contract.
Yeah, you'll go for 70 million next summer, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope not. Run of games is decent for Bournemouth as well coming up. So yes, they go to Spurs away, but this weekend they play Wolves. They've got Fulham coming up as well. Yeah, it's a decent enough run. So Brighton as well. Lots of those teams that you'd expect them to be in and around throughout the season, and you'd expect goals in those games. So yeah, strikes me as a good shout, and is one that I'm exploring. And then up front.
Yeah, so we got 2 up front, sticking with the Bournemouth theme.
Okay, Ever, yeah?
Yeah, Evan Nilsson. I mean, look, it's largely because of the Wolverhampton game. I think there's going to be goals in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll talk about obviously the fixtures in a moment. But yeah. Evan Nilsson, who's lively, always lively, the South American, and just my favourite player of all time, partnering him in Danny Welbeck.
Nice.
Who,
okay.
Louis van Gaal broke my heart when he sold him.
Yeah. Didn't start this weekend, crucially. Rutter played down the middle. I thought Rutter would be on pens, but that wasn't the case. But yeah, did start in that number 9 role, won the penalty, and therefore got some bonus points in terms of the assist there. So yeah, Welbeck is one I've seen floating around in quite a few teams. I would just question it in terms of whether he's going to get the minutes. But I get when you're looking at that price point, you're not flush with options.
No, and I'd rather have Danny Welbeck in that starting lineup, just looking cool than having Liam Delap.
Fair enough. Look, I'm going to go through my team, but first of all, I want to introduce a new feature for this season, and I'm springing it on you both. We want to look at players that are just bubbling away in the background, and you're thinking they're on my watch list. I'm going to keep an eye, and this is a feature I want to call Bubbling Hot. Let's take it back to the 90s.
How easy, Radical Roger.
Respect, Mr. Pato Bantan.
Rough, just like a soup in a pot. We are what?
Bubbling hot.
I can't play any more than that because we'll get taken down from iTunes. But boy, it's a banger. I wonder if we just break it up every now and then. We can continue to play it. So let me talk you through my Bubbling Hot right now. It is Elliot Anderson, 5.5 at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
decent assist for him at the weekend, and also well renowned for his DEFCON. So bonus points potentially all over the place. At 5.5, he's sat up against Reinders. Excuse me, a little bit of a drinky poos. He's up against Reinders in that 5.5 midfielder. But if you've already got one of them, then the other seems to make sense and can enable all sorts of maybe higher price picks. So Elliot Anderson for me is my Bubbling Hot. Have you got a Bubbling Hot, Sean?
Well, the one that was exciting it's a Chelsea player, so it's difficult again for me to put him in with my rival principal. But is it Willian, the 18-year-old Esteban Willian? Yeah. So he comes with.
Willian at Chelsea. You're back in sort of 2009 there, Willian at Chelsea.
Yeah, Esteban. I'm pretty. Yeah, Esteban Willian, I think is.
Yes.
Yeah. But he's 18. He came on against Crystal Palace and was mischievous. And I think it might be an individual that will break into that wing and spot for Chelsea. I mean, they're overloaded with those type of players, and they're going to add to that in terms of Garnacho. But I
sure.
think
what would you say? What would you say about him? He's what?
A rascal. I'd probably say Bubbling Hot.
Bubbling Hot.
Sorry. Yeah,
no, that's okay. Garnacho, it's going to go in there and compete with him, of course. It looks that way anyway.
With the other 19 wingers that they have.
Yeah. But it's sort of to position that Chelsea wing.
Yeah, I think it's one to just keep your eye on with that. He might be a breakthrough talent.
Okay. James, what about you? Who's Bubbling Hot?
2 words: Dan and Doy.
Yes, a Forest. Cheeky.
Very good for Brescia last year.
Yeah, nice.
Swiss players, you never have anything to do with them until every other summer when there's a Euros or a World Cup on.
Yeah.
And he strikes me as absolutely bubbling hot this year.
He's the next Shaqiri.
I think he is.
All right, there you are. Then that's bubbling hot. Just like a soup in a pot. Okay, right. I'll talk you through my team then, lads, if that's okay. And what I did, and I don't know if you were the same. I don't think you were. I wildcarded Friday night. And the reason I did that was because I could see there would be price rises. And what I wanted to do is to be able to have those players in my squad and then remove them if I needed to without having to pay the extra 0.1 mil that has come in on one or two players. So Reinders I already had. So he's gone up to 5.6 when he was at 5.5. Ekitike I didn't have. I'm not sure I really want to, and I'll make a decision towards the end of the week. But having played my wildcard early doors, I was able to bring him in to my squad, and I can, like I say, I can transfer him out again nearer the time if I want to. But it keeps that option open. And Eight Nori is another one that it looks like his price, if it hasn't risen, it will be. Ace, as well as that, Semenyo. So Semenyo, I got a 7 mil. I'm suspecting you had to pay the 7.1. Yeah. 7.1. So just if you know you're going to play your wild card, get in there early, bring those players in. Little Mikey tip there for you. So my team looks like as follows. I'll show you my bench. That's probably the thing as I did the same to you. So in terms of my bench, it's a nice bench. I've got the Cockney Mickey van der Ven. I've got Kloopy Jr., which is one I'm expecting maybe a 10-minute run out and maybe the odd goal at this stage. And I've got Cucurella on my bench. I've gone fairly big at the back. And Cucurella was playing almost as a number 10 times at the weekend. So I really like him. But I, this weekend, prefer my other defenders. And I've got Sells of Nottingham Forest on my bench as well. Because for perhaps the only game this season, I'm putting in Dubravka off my bench. Home to Sunderland. I know it was a goal fest against West Ham, but I think that says more about West Ham than it does Sunderland. And I think Burnley, they built their season on defence last year. It was the best defensive record. We touched on it last week. Best defensive record ever in the Championship. Sunderland came up from that Championship. So form points to the fact that there should be clean sheets up for grabs. So I've got Dubravka in goal. I've got Esteve of Burnley as well at the 4 mil. Be careful of him, folks, because there's a good chance if he doesn't perform this weekend, his price will drop because he's very highly owned. But Esteve again. So I'm counting on Esteve and Dubravka for some Burnley clean sheet points. I've got 8 Nori at home to Tottenham because whilst they do look more resolute this season, I like the cut of his jib at the weekend. It's him or Cucurella, but maybe that's a one for me to sort of toil with. And I've got Gabriel rather than Saliba, James, as my defender. I just think he's a bit more of a threat from set plays, but time will tell. Reinders, I've already mentioned as Semenyo. Adding to the mix, Saka at home to Leeds. I do like the look of that. A fairly toothless Everton couldn't carve them open last night, but yeah, I think Saka for me is a must-have. Along with, for now anyway, Cole Palmer. And then I've got Florian Wirtz because I wanted a Liverpool asset in the midfield. Didn't have the budget for Salah. Gakpo, I called it last week. I fancied him down that left wing against Bournemouth. He popped up with a goal. But I think season long, I see Wirtz picking up more points. And then up top, at the moment, I have Ekitike. But I'm very, very tempted, given Chelsea's run of fixtures, to swap him out for Pedro. But I don't need to make that call until, Friday afternoon, because there's another Friday night match this week. So Chelsea's fixtures are West Ham away, Fulham at home, Brentford away. And that is making me want to load up with Chelsea assets at the moment. And Ollie Watkins, look, he didn't score. He had a good pre-season, didn't score at the weekend, didn't look like scoring, nor did anybody at Villa, frankly, for the most part this weekend. But we have to remember where Newcastle have come from, and Newcastle have a very sound defence and are a decent side. And I think the Isaac thing is maybe overshadowing just what a good team they were last year. So no great shakes not to score against them. I do fancy Watkins to break his duck at the weekend away at his former club, Brentford.
Yeah.
Anything you want to pick apart there, lads, come at me.
I'm just pleased at how many players I have that you have as well.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, we'll go to fixtures in just a minute, but we do have, in addition to Bubbling Hot, we do have a quiz, and it's a new quiz this year. Oh, Phil, how we miss him. Here's the theme.
It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by a listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz.
Phil says he's not musical.
Well, yeah. Look, Phil will be back next week, and maybe he'll do that for us live. The good news is that nobody's getting their captain picks because there's a new quiz, and until this falls, the captain picks will not be returning.
Okay.
It's a quiz I've been working hard on, boys, and it's called Squeaky Bum Time.
Love it.
I went to AI, and I asked AI to generate me the noise of a particular Premier League player farting. All you've got to do is tell me who that player is. Now, I went to ChatGPT and I asked them to do this particular person.
Can I just check? It's important clarification.
Yeah.
You still got the paid version or the free version?
Paid version.
Okay, I think that widens the pool of possibilities.
That's a much bigger fart language model.
Unfortunately, ChatGPT said it can't do an impression for copyright purposes. Cannot do an impression of this said Premier League player. So I did the next best thing that I could come up with, and I asked my 9-year-old boy to do an impression of a Premier League footballer doing a fart. It is the same Premier League player that I asked ChatGPT to get involved with. You can both ask me a question, and if you don't get it this week, and why wouldn't you? But if you don't get it this week, it will roll on to next week, and another question can be asked. There are 3 questions that you can't ask me, boys, and I can answer only yes or no. You cannot ask me, does he play for? You can't ask me, is his position? And you can't ask me, does he have a whatever in his name? Any other question is open to you. We will be keeping track should it be required. I'm hoping it's going to go tonight. But that is Squeaky Bum Time. So we'll go to you first, James. You have 1 question, and then Sean will throw to you, and then I'll let you both have a guess. So James, your question around this player, please.
Is he tall?
No. Sean.
I'm either going to go for a nationality or a sponsorship deal. I'm trying to. It's like guess who. It's like what?
Cheeky.
What will narrow down this huge pool of players? Is he sponsored by Puma?
Blimey. God. Okay, wasn't expecting that one.
Sorry.
But I'll ask the internet. When you say is he, do you mean is his kit?
His personal boot deal.
His personal boot deal.
Oh,
okay. Who does have a boot deal with? Don't know how much of a difference. No, he does not have a boot deal with Puma. So, if you get this, I'll almost give you the money yourself. There is a signed, sorry, not signed. I mean, I'll sign it. There is a football shirt of your choosing up for grabs. Should you get it right tonight, lads? So,
oh wow, that's a lot of pressure.
I'm very confident.
Okay,
Nice.
James, we'll go to you.
Justin Kluivert.
No, James, not Justin Kluivert. Okay, Sean, it's down to you and you alone.
I'm going to also follow the same theme.
I'm so sorry. I've spotted a flaw in this.
Yeah.
I've not played you the impression of the fart. So you really are you're just going off. Yeah. And that really isn't fair. So let me play you. That's really
James,
not right.
Because
James, you're back in.
Does he back in?
I mean, it would be.
I was assuming that your son's impression was so bad that it was not.
Oh no, it's absolutely spot on. Here we go. Take a listen.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, definitely get it.
Oh, that changes everything.
Yeah, I'll play it one more time.
See.
It's a short, maybe like the player, short, fairly abrupt fart. Let's give it one more.
Sounds like a quick
win over that because listeners at home will be. Well, it's right. The listeners in their cars or at home will be keen to catch it in its entirety. So here it comes.
No, that's okay.
Oh no, you've done it again. I don't know how intentional this is, James. Going to need everyone just to hush now. Okay, give this the gravitas that it deserves. Here it comes.
Whoopsie.
No, come on.
Whoopsie.
There you go. So, James, you get another go at this.
Okay.
Don't back it up this time.
He's not tall. Doesn't wear Puma boots. It's quite tight. It's got to be Adam Smith.
Oh, it's not Adam Smith. Okay. 2 Bournemouth players there, guest. Interesting. Sean. When I went on Tipping Point, Sean, and got every single question right in the entire hour of the show for the first time ever of any contestant. Not that I like to talk about it too much.
Did you get?
They asked me in the green room to show my workings as I gave the answers, even if they were really simplistic answers. Just like this is. So show your workings.
Yeah, sure.
Give us an answer.
Yeah, I mean, did you get any celebrity fart questions during the Tipping Point?
Not that I recall, but had I done, I would have got it right.
You'd have worked it through. Okay, well, look, the logic is that your son is a Bournemouth fan, right?
He is.
Okay, so, I mean,
I should be clear, I designated exactly who I wanted him to do.
Right, so he's not picked.
I picked the player.
Oh, right.
I picked the player.
Okay, that changes everything.
I thought it might.
Yeah, okay. So that's where James was going with that.
Well, I was assuming your son had heard the noise to be able to do an impression.
No, it's just his interpretation of what that person farting would sound like. So he could be miles off, but I think he's nailed it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, he's not a tall player. He sounds like he's got very large bum cheeks, creating a high-pitched velocity. I'm going with the man with one of the biggest rumps in the Premier League, Brian Mbumo.
Let's find out. Oh, it's not. And which means it rolls over to another week, gang. So do stick around. Hopefully it'll go sooner rather than later. It could be one that lasts a season, but that was our quiz on this week's episode.
It's the quiz, 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 it's the quiz.
Well, there you have it. Okay, let's look at the fixtures then, lads, this week. I'd like to know what your take is, both on a football level, from a fan's eye view, but also if there are any players that you might want to be keeping an eye on this weekend as we move into game week 2. And it's more Friday night football as West Ham host Chelsea at the Olympic Stadium. I think we've all pied off West Ham pretty early. I still like the look of Juve. He had a shot cleared off the line. I talked him up last week in terms of a 4.5 million asset, but as a defensive unit, they didn't look too special.
Yeah.
I got them in the bottom 3 this year. I think they are.
Who are your bottom 3?
Burnley. I think I had Leeds as the only promoted team that's staying up. So Sunderland, Burnley, and West Ham.
Okay. All right. So given that we're probably not rushing to get any West Ham assets, unless you're looking at this guy. Bowen, any interest in him? I mean, he's a differential up front, but if he was going to score, you would have thought away at Sunderland would be the place to start that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Not for me.
He is their only outlet, though, right? I can't even think off the top of my head. I mean, they sold Kudos, right? So, what else have West Ham got? I mean, Newcastle should be sniffing that, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So
Danny Dyer, though.
Yeah, he's getting a nosebleed above London.
He can't move.
Chelsea, we've touched on. Have we all got Palmer?
No.
Just me. Okay, fine.
A haircut as well. Yeah.
he looked off the boil. I mean, Phil notoriously does pick players on haircuts more often than not. Yeah, I'm not sure about Palmer, but I think he's a must-have for now with that run of fixtures. I think he's a must-have. But okay, nobody massively jumping out there. Man City host Spurs. It's a lunchtime kickoff. City don't have the best record when it comes to Saturday lunchtime kickoffs. A little bit like Liverpool, sometimes struggle to get into top gear. Spurs look reasonably impressive and reasonably solid as well against Burnley. Anybody jumping out that you think we should be looking at from a City or a Spurs perspective? I mean, Kudos obviously impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a major papering over the cracks for Spurs on the last weekend. I think this is a goal fest.
Yeah?
I think this is a City goal fest.
City goal fest. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. Do they keep a clean sheet? Could we be looking at this man? Stones taught me to fly. Is he worth considering? I mean, he was back in the lineup this weekend.
Isn't the Manchester City defence also just really hard to know? Like, they've got so many options.
Rotation's an issue for sure. I think Aït-Nouri is going on the FPL predictor, as I did last week. There was only one defender they could with 90% certainty say was going to start, and that was Aït-Nouri. So I guess he's the preferred pick there if you are going to try and back a City defender. But Reinders,
what a player.
Look the part. The most transferred player in this week, along with Ekitike and Semenyo, hence the price rises across all three.
Did anyone no one had Haaland in their team?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is he a captain?
He is, and I think this is at least a 3-goal win for Manchester City. I think Spurs have done really well in the last 2 games, but I think it was a short-lived thing. I think
Romero's just signed a big contract, hasn't he? He was flirting with Atletico Madrid, signed a big contract. He could
got the captaincy
well up for it. Could be well up for it now, but it could also be sent off after 7 minutes. So
this is absolutely a possibility. Okay, well, I'll be there pitch side, 3:00 Saturday afternoon. It's how I like it. Bournemouth host Wolves at the weekend. We've talked up Semenyo.
Yeah,
True Fair impressed, I thought, at left back coming in and sort of picking up where Kirkus left off, really, in terms of getting down the wing and some decent delivery.
Gary Neville's player to watch, Mike. Did you watch?
Is that Gary Neville's bubbling hot? Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. No. I like the look of him. Wolves, however, not so convincing.
Yeah.
I fear for Wolves as well.
They are. I mean, not that you asked me, Mike, but the bottom 3 is.
Oh, please, Sean. What are the bottom 3 going to be from your perspective?
I think it's Brentford. I think they've completely eradicated their squad.
Yeah.
I think Wolves, and I think I'm more confident around the promoted teams. I think it will be probably Sunderland that will go down.
Okay.
But yeah. So I think Bournemouth, off the back of a really impressive result against Liverpool, where they probably just ran out a bit of puff in the last 10 minutes. And Semenyo's on hot form. He's my captain. Wolves at home. Yeah. Midfielder.
Captain.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Brentford against Villa. Anybody grabbing us in this one? Morgan Rogers was a doubt going into last week. Did start. Played the majority. So at 7 mil, perhaps an option in the midfield. Yep. Watkins I've already highlighted. Anybody else jumping out?
Well, again, just Morgan Rogers just won PFA Player of the Year about 2 hours ago, so he'll be bouncing off the back. Yeah.
Over Dean Howson, unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah. So he might be one to put in, and as you mentioned, Ollie Watkins, he'll be sort of ready to kind of start getting onto the score sheet for the season.
Here's hoping. Burnley Sunderland. I've kind of referenced the fact that I think this could be clean sheet time for Dubravka. I know most people have got him as bench fodder, but is this a game where you'd consider him?
Mm-hmm. This is the smelliest fixture of the weekend, isn't it? This is 0-0.
I hope so.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh no. Okay.
Come on, then, James.
I think Sunderland would have seen that their first 4 or 5 games represent good chance to get points, and then I think October, November, December they've got pretty much a run of like top 6 big teams, haven't they? So I think they'll be going all out to follow up on last week, get the points whilst they can, because they'll know it's going to be a long, cold winter. So I think one of those new signings is going to pop up.
My counter argument is that I don't think, like Guinness, Sunderland travel too well, and I think they will come to a Burnley team who they're just a stubborn. They've got 0-0 written over them every single home game. Well, look, it'll end up being 4-4 now, but yeah, I think the goalkeeping and defensive stats, if you've got their players in your team, it's probably worth a punt.
Yeah, certainly what I'm hopeful for. Arsenal then hosts Leeds. It's the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. We've talked up Saka. More touches of Gyökeres's hair than touches of the ball, allegedly. He had at the weekend.
Good hair, though. Good hair. Good hair. I mean, sorry, we've got to give credit where we've obviously taken the
credit where it's due. But he did look a little out of sorts.
Yeah.
Seen loads of people jumping on him, despite the fact they're home to Leeds this weekend.
Yeah, I do think, though, that out of all the options that Arteta's got, he'll be the player, he'll be the focal point. I can't see how Havertz gets weaved back in. I think I saw something like Jamie Carragher was saying that he thinks Havertz will be still the number one focal point there. Don't think that's the case. I think, by the way, I mean, like, I'm going to mention it every time you give me a chance, Mike, but De Ligt was just incredible in that game to sort of basically mark him out. But I don't think he'll play against a De Ligt every week. I think he'll bang some goals against Leeds, who also looks very smelly on Monday against Everton.
Yeah, they did. Okay, no, fair enough. Any other Arsenal assets changed from your perspective that you're
I'm looking at a comfortable Arsenal win, and I'm happy that I've got Saka in my team. I think it'll be Odegaard, Zubimendi, Saka. I think it'll be down the middle, and I think Gyökeres he's not there yet, so I'm not expecting to see anything from him.
Okay.
I do get a bit confused with Arsenal because they've got so many players called Gabriel. So I just stick to the ones that I know.
But
how many are we counting?
I think they've had at least 3 at one point.
Okay, fine.
They do look boring at the moment, though, Arsenal, right? I'm wondering, can you, as a 15-year-old lad, is he available on FPL, Max Stoneman?
He's not. No, and I looked at that pre-season. No, I think he will be going into the season for sure. But at the moment, he's not on there.
He's not on there.
Real prospect. For folks that don't know, played quite a bit in pre-season. Only 15 years old, and looks a special young talent. So one to keep an eye on. He could be one that comes on and unlock stores maybe towards the end of games.
Is it because Arsenal haven't registered him, or is it because he's 15 years old and you can't?
Do you know what? That's a really good shout, Sean. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a very good shout. They have got this man.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
And yet they didn't start him. Again, much to my frustration. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to play the sound clip in all honesty.
That's okay. While you were doing that, Mike, I was just Googling when Max Diamond's birthday was.
Yeah.
It's New Year's Eve.
Is
it's
it
a long
really?
wait. Long wait,
okay.
If that's why we've got to wait till he's 16.
Well, we've got no excuses for getting this year. You should be getting a Sweet 16 card from all of us. Crystal Palace kick off our lunchtime fixtures. I say lunchtime, 2:00 still feels quite late to me on a Sunday to be having lunch. But it does happen. Crystal Palace host Nottingham Forest, who look decent, and but for a slightly ropey penalty, would have kept a clean sheet at home to Brentford at the weekend. Crystal Palace, we've mentioned Eze might be going, Gay, I mean, fair play. They just, they were professional and both did their bit, put bodies on the line at the weekend at Chelsea. Remains to be seen whether either of those will be there. Mateta, I really like, but this feels like a defence that is set up to handle the likes of Mateta. He's a big bustling forward, and you got two very big bustling central defenders.
Yeah, it could be a complete kind of two heavyweights just slugging it out.
Okay.
I don't think they'll have all gone by this weekend, but there's a genuine chance they might lose Gay, Wharton, and Eze in the next 10 days, right?
Yeah.
With little opportunity to replace them.
Yeah. Makes any Palace asset a bit trickier. Little Mikey tip number 2 in terms of FPL. If you've got the spaces to spare, I suppose. If you think Gahey is going to go to Liverpool and you think Isaac's going to Liverpool and you want more than 3 Liverpool players, bring them in now and they don't get chucked out your team. So you could have up to 5. You could have up to 5 Liverpool assets going into the rest of the season should you want them.
Little Mikey tip. Is that as in a little tip, or is that little Mike?
Little Mikey. Manjaro Mike. Little Mikey. Yeah. Okay, let's move to Everton, who are part of the next fixture. Everton host Brighton. A couple of players I'd like your take on, purely so I can play their clip.
Everybody's changing and I don't feel the same.
Michael Keane.
Very good. Long past it.
Yeah. I think he's still only a young man, Michael Keane.
Does he not have the hair of a Lego figure?
Yes.
Yeah, how pertinent that is to his points.
I mean, the baseline is Arteta, right?
Yeah, it is.
How
old is Michael Keane, James? I feel like this is something you could.
Michael Keane, off the top of my head,
must be mid-30s.
Actually, it's not on the page. Full bio. Here we go. Born in 1993, so I'm sure you can work it out from that.
I can. It's 32. So yeah, he's knocking on. Okay, up front, and kind of to some degree, you had Beto leading the attack at the weekend. On Monday night, who looked dreadful. They have got another signing who got some minutes. This man.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.
Barry, of course.
Sean Williams.
Yeah, well, no, Barry. Doesn't work if we call him Sean Williams. I've done Barry-oki, lads. Just
you have. I mean, I've seen the photo.
Yeah, not the audio. You've not heard the audio, but you've seen the picture. Yeah, bit of Barry-oki with Sean Williams. So yeah, Barry comes in. I mean, I guess he's one to keep an eye on, but they didn't look like they're going to score hatfuls of goals this season. But
it's their first game in their new stadium, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think it's,
and it would be so Everton for them to lose 1-0.
Michael Keane own goal.
Yeah, and they play Brighton, who had this man.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a
believer, who I know was linked with you, Sean, and United, but looks like he is staying. Very well thought of in terms of DEFCON, not so much going forward, but again, a cheap option there if you're looking for someone that's breaking up attacks and is going to pick up points as a result of that.
How much is Belieber?
5 million.
Yeah,
that's
tempted.
Good. That's very. Yeah, I'd say that's tempting.
Well, I felt the slightly awkward silence, lads. We move to Fulham hosting your Red Devils, Manchester United. Fulham, who haven't strengthened, so there's not an awful lot new to talk about in terms of Fulham assets. We know who kind of was picking up points last season. This man, Anthony Robinson, but he remains unfit this moment in time. United, we've kind of done this one to death already, lads. I mean, out of interest, what do you see the result being, Sean? Do you see United keeping a clean sheet?
No.
Okay.
But the United always do well at Fulham. Just my top tip. That will be a win.
Oh,
the pressure's on, right? The pressure's on Ruben. He's got to start picking up points. But I think we'll do well. I think, like I said, I think we played really well. I think Sesko, not that he's in my team, but I think he might start. And won't do the full 90, but I think it will be, I could see a few first goals being scored by Kuna and Mbumo and Sesko. Okay. I'm feeling confident.
Do you think he offers Sesko value? You can have that one. And Newcastle, look, the whole Isak affair, like we said earlier on in the pod, you'd be silly to forget just how good they were at times last season. And really, they've lost a focal point. But defensively, they're still pretty solid. Livramento, I really like at 5 million. Dan Burner, threat from set pieces, also 5 million. If you're looking at those 5 million picks and that's your budget, actually, I think they probably, along with maybe Van der Ven at 4.5, they probably represent the best value when it comes to defensive options.
And Liverpool don't look great at the back, as Semenyo.
No.
I don't know if that's about the back, though. Isn't that about the midfield? Like, the only two defensive players that Liverpool had on Friday night were Konate and Van Dijk, surely. I mean, they had 8 players who were just looking to attack all the time.
Well, they missed Gravenberch. That much was apparent. And again, he's another one in terms of, if you're looking at DEFCONs as the season goes on, he's another one you might want to think about. But obviously here and now, not so much. But yeah.
I think this is the highest scoring game of the weekend. It's a Monday night fixture.
It's got the makings of a third round of the 4-3, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's got all of the ingredients.
Collymore
for that.
Okay, well, we will see. Look, we've given you our thoughts. It's a fan's eyes view, guy. We're not going too heavy into stats on the fantasy threesome. That's never been our way. I want to say a big thank you to Sean and to James for coming on tonight and forging another one night stand in terms of the fantasy threesome. It is appreciated, lads. Mm-hmm. And I dare say I'll be calling on both of you at some point to step into the breach. But yeah, great to have you both on.
Pleasure, Mike. Thank you for having us.
James, if you could reciprocate by telling me what a great time you've had. No.
Totally froze. I lost my signal again. I was just giving you some genuinely warm praise, Mike. What a great time. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Look, thanks so much for listening. The three amigos will be reunited next week. I forget which sugar base we're referencing ourselves as, but we will be back. Thanks so much for listening.
You're mucho bueno.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And on that bombshell, we'll say cheery bye.